Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're in the right place at the right time. It is the noon report, and I am here for you on today. We've got a couple of news clips for you today that I think you'll find interesting. Our fearless leader, Mr. Lee Michaels, is on assignment, so don't think he'll be joining me on today. I just want to get started by saying I have a mentor that I have been with for 30 plus years. Dr. Hunt and I have been traveling in life for 30 plus years. And the reason why I make that announcement every single time is because it's important to have a mentor in your life. And if you have a mentor in your life, it can also help you during the hard times that you go through in your life. So I say it because I want to encourage people to go out and get a mentor, get someone that can encourage you, instruct you, and help you navigate through life. So that's why I talk about it. Get you a mentor, then you can get you a show and shout them out. How's that? All right. So let's get right to it. Today, we've got a couple of news clips from the New York Times that I want to talk about today. Um, President Biden is in talking about proposing to increase taxes for corporations with high earnings to reduce deficits over the next decade. Well, corporations that make a lot of money don't want to pay taxes. They go through a lot of trouble not to pay taxes. And Republicans defend them to the high hilt. So him proposing it over and over and over again is not getting it done. They need to find a way to get around the Republican base that endorses people being rich and not paying taxes. That's an issue that he's going to continue to have through all of his entire presidency. So he is not going to be successful at all with getting that money out their pocket. The one percenters have always been the ruling class, and they're going to always figure out a way to keep from spending the money that they feel that they have earned or stolen, whichever way you want to look at it, by beating the system and keeping more of their money in their pocket. Something else that I want to talk about. This is very interesting. For those that have been under a rock, Dominion voting machines put a major lawsuit in for all those people that said that the machines were cheating in favor of President Biden. So some of the things that have come out of this, which I love, when you ever heard the expression, when the ship is sinking, the rafts will jump off. Case in point, um, Rupert Murdoch and Fox hosts revealed their skepticism of Donald Trump's false claims of stolen election. So Rupert Murdoch, being the owner of Fox, who has endorsed greatly that it was a big lie, big steal, big everything, and made plenty of ratings off of it, are now beginning to back up and say, "Hey, we knew about it, and yes, we advertised it. Yeah, we reported it, and yes, we've done all of these things for ratings." So the one thing that Fox did was they found a group of people that promoted the hatred and all of the racism, and they started playing to them. And now all these things are starting to come out. One of their key reporters, which is Tucker Carlson, came out with some texts that they have found, personal texts of him, that actually said that he hated Donald Trump. Now, here's one of the biggest reporters On the Fox network, Tucker Carlson positively hates Trump, and 8 more key revelations about Fox News from New Dominion filing. Dominion is going after them wholeheartedly to expose that they were a major part of the riots and the insurrection that took place on January 6th, because they kept feeding information to people that encouraged them to want to be in a riot. Now, speaking about the riot, I heard on this week that they have finally reached a midpoint of all the people that they were prosecuting for participating in this major event on January the 6th. But the Justice Department has been gradually going after each and every one of them. And they have shown this tactical room on various news networks where they have people circled, they have identified, and they're going after them. I mean, like, it is a major offensive of making sure that every single person that participated in this January 6th, they're going to come and make accountability for this. So they're still reaching out to people that have done this January 6th riot, and they have reached the midpoint number of many of the people that they have identified, and there are many of people that have brought to justice. In Illinois, they had one that was saying that he did not want to go to trial in Illinois because he's from Illinois, and they talked about it so much, and he definitely didn't want to go to trial in Washington, D.C. So he said, I'd rather go to trial anyplace else because I don't think I can get a fair trial. I think that he's still going to wind up losing because they got him on pictures and videos and evidence showing that he participated. So he didn't want to take a plea. He want to go to trial. He gonna probably wind up with more time. So interesting. People are defending themselves in this riot and, and don't realize it's a sinking ship. Uh, yep. Tucker Carlson got access. We talked about this last week to some of the videos from the January 6th. House Republicans promoted Tucker Carlson's report, falsely portraying the January 6th attack as largely peaceful, while Senate Republicans condemned it. You know, he's got access to these videos. He doesn't have the clearance to have them, but the McCarthy gave him the videos, and now he's using the videos to try to sway public opinion once again in the direction that, oh, it was just a stroll down, the halls of justice. Right. Oklahoma, this is so sad. Oklahoma voters decided against legalizing recreational marijuana. Now that's so crazy because Oklahoma used to be a very large indigenous community. And the indigenous community there used to use marijuana in their peace pipe. So now they don't want to legalize the tobacco that they used to use in order to be able to make peace with one tribe or one group of people from one to another. That's cold and cruel. Other stories. To slow inflation, the Federal Reserve will probably raise interest rates more than projected. Now, I saw part of the Senate committee report on this hearing on yesterday, and they were asking why the Fed was pushing so hard to raise interest rates when in their report they said that there was going to be at least 2 million people out of jobs if they continue to push this the rate that they're pushing it. And his response was 2 million people out of work is, that's acceptable numbers. We can go with that, because what we want to do is lower the numbers. We don't care about the people, is what I heard very loudly. And in this debate back and forth, when he was trying to explain, well, we must do what we got to do. But what about the people? No compassion towards the people at all. If people are out of work and people are starving and people are hungry and people don't have a way to take care of their family, that's considered to be okay. Now, this is your government speaking, the American government. They're speaking. And somebody should hear this and understand that, wow, we're in trouble. We're absolutely in trouble. When your government officials are constantly talking about, the Federal Reserve is constantly talking about pushing the economy to where 2 million people, at least 2 million people, will be out of work because of the rising of the Fed's interest rate. Unbelievable. The Justice Department sued to block JetBlue Airlines from buying Spirit Airlines, saying a merger would reduce competition. Wow. So the two worst airlines in the airline business joining forces, they don't want it to happen. Speaking of airlines, it has been an outrage lately, an outbreak lately of incidents on airplanes. People used to say that flying the airways was one of the safest ways to travel. Not anymore. They've got news clips out there showing people that having meltdowns on airplanes, and it's becoming more and more, these outbreaks are happening. More and more people are being detained and held on airlines. And I applaud all of the passengers that assist in containing these people that are having emotional breakdown. People, we got a lot of emotional sickness in this country that's not being dealt with. And they're getting on airplanes, buses, trains, they're walking our streets. They're our neighbors. And we never know when they're going to have a meltdown or decide to go crazy. Did I say crazy? Or decide to go crazy. They need to evaluate some of these folks and try and get them some help, because that way we'll know where they are. People that are riding around in cars having meltdowns, that's when they have road rage. There's a lot going on with mental illness that's not even being identified. So I would hope that somewhere along the way, people begin to understand we need to, wrap ourselves around one another and try and hold on to them until we can get them some help, the right kind of help. Let's see what we got here. I've got another report that I was trying to save until the end, since I know Lee is not coming to be with me today. I'm going to go ahead on and shoot over to this story because it's a warm, feel good type story. And I think this is a good story to try to end the report on today. You can't cover everything. I know mainstream media, they got it all covered up already. They talk about a lot of stuff already. I just wanted to talk about a few things that caught my eye, and made me have an opinion about it. So this story is definitely warm and fuzzy. I picked this one up from the Los Angeles Times, and you may or may not know that BET, that used to be owned by Black people at one time, got sold, and now it's up for sale again. And two of the biggest names in the business are considering buying and taking stake, the majority stake in this company. One being Tyler Perry, and the other being Byron Allen. And that would bring the network back into a Black ownership situation again. Now, both of these gentlemen have the resources. Of course, we know Tyler Perry has a whole production facility in Atlanta, Georgia area. And we know that Byron Allen has bought up many networks and have bought up many uh, channels, sports, comedy. He's produced and owns so much that he has become a multimedia empire all to himself. So the two of them are seeking after to take over majority stake in BET. I think that's going to be an excellent thing. And maybe at some point in time, they may even talk to each other and begin to do this as a partnership so that they can both own BET and be able to control programming. When BET first started out, it was an entity all to itself, a cable channel that was available for us. And I encourage them to continue with their endeavors. And I'll be glad to hear and report that they have resolved who the new owners of BET will be. So that's a warm and fuzzy type story for today. Interesting that BET is up for sale, because I'm sure BET has been a force to be reckoned with, and now they want to get rid of it. Interesting. I want to talk to you guys about coming on board over here at Street News Now. If you are interested in bringing a show over to Street News Now, we would be glad to have you. You can go over to our website, streetnewsnow.com. When you get over there, you can click on add a show or fill out the paperwork, and someone in our administrative team and staff will reach out to you, get in contact with you, and help you get your show over here on Street News Now. We've got lots of programming hours available. You can pick what time slot you want, except for mine. You can't have my slot. I do noon on Wednesdays. So please go check it out, fill out the paperwork, and we'll be more than glad to help you. My show is the Noon Report every Wednesday at noon. You can come and join me. I want to encourage you to subscribe, like, and share. Please go over to the YouTube channel or whatever channel that you're viewing this show on, because we're on many networks at the present time. If you see the show, like it, share it, tell somebody about it. We are definitely interested in having this information go as far and wide as it possibly can. And I appreciate you guys dropping in every week to see what craziness comes out of my mouth. I really appreciate you guys. So I'm not going to hold you long on this week. I thank you guys for dropping in. Please tell somebody, come and check us out right here on the Street News Now network.